welcome back to the G.T.O podcast. And this episode comes in 23 delicious and unhealthy flavors, such as bacon grease, nerd sweat, and goat pot pie.
Ooh.
A tasty treat. A great source of palm oil and corn syrup. You won't believe it's not just another gaming podcast, because it ain't. I'm with the Gary Busey of gaming right here, Sam Lucker.
Wow, Gary Busey of gaming. It's a heavy title.
So we're gonna skip the part that we talked about the games that we played this past week,
because we haven't been doing that.
Haven't been doing that too much. I have been playing Summer Night, I tell you that much. I tried, but I put my 5 hours in of actually doing stuff, but I spent like another hour trying to find out where I was, and that's not working out. So anyway, we're gonna go into the news of the past 9 days. So the first thing that I would like to talk about is the Dishonored 2 trailer came out, talking about Emily Caldwin, the other main character in the game. Like, you can help me through this, because I haven't played Dishonored 1. I don't really know much about the backstory, but the trailer will give you a quote before we get into the video. Emily Caldwin isn't just her own character with her own story. She also has unique powers to tackle the threats ahead. Find out more about Emily, her motivations, and her unique powers with exclusive insight straight from the team at Arcane Studios. So I'll go into depth what they explain some of the powers. The backstory, correct me if I'm wrong here, takes place 15 years after the first game, which I haven't played, obviously. And she's been getting trained by Corvo, whoever that is. Then somehow the throne is being usurped by some other power, which I didn't really explain too well. And she has to use the skills that she's been training her whole life to hone to take it back, basically. But I mean, that's the story, and I don't really care about that. But the powers look really cool. Has a cool grapple-like ability called Far Reach, allowing her creative ways to move through the environment and all that. Kill stuff in the air. And called Domino Powered, which, like, you tie the fate of one person and kill the other people, like, the same way. So if I tag you,
and then 2 other people.
Yeah. And they all, like, I just got to kill one, I kill all of you. I thought that was interesting.
Yep.
Also has a power called Shadow Walk, lets her like turn into some amorphous dark blob and like wreak havoc from below.
Yeah, you can crawl through like doors, I think. It's a more stealthy mode. Then you can like tear them apart, so you can do physical damage. It's not just like a gaseous figure.
It reminds me of Giratina from Pokemon Platinum and Distortion World. Anyways, what was another power? Oh, Doppelganger, which creates a reflection of yourself to distract enemies, which is cool. But I thought this was a stealth game.
Well, it can be a stealth game.
Alright, so I'm curious how creative ways people can implement these powers without getting caught, because these seem like pretty direct ways to kill people.
Yeah, but you know, it's all about implementation. Like the reflection power, that could definitely help with stealth, depending on how tight you want to say stealth gameplay is.
Yeah, does it count if they know the other person that you are?
If they see your doppelganger, or the game might not count it as you being caught, but our purists gonna say that's you getting caught.
Yeah, video game purist, the coolest type of person. But anyway, what do you think about these powers in general?
They're interesting, and not that I'm getting tired with Dishonored 1, but it'll be nice to have something new to mess around with every once in a while.
Are all these powers new, right?
Yeah, and they're specifically for Emily.
So how does this work? Is it like 2 different storylines completely, or is it just like a gameplay difference?
Might be a little bit of both. Like, there are some missions where there might be some missions where you get to choose, I'm not entirely sure. But then there are some missions where you're stuck as whichever character the story demands. But I don't know if it's 2 completely separate.
Because what they said in the trailer was that they perceive the world differently, but they didn't say exactly that they have different missions in different places. I don't know. But you're excited for this. I know you're already a fan and all. So
yeah.
Alright, so I think it's cool. If I'm going to get it, I don't know. Is it exclusive on anything?
No, it is available on all consoles. Well,
Wii U? Wii U?
No, not Wii U.
Whatever.
And not for the Switch. but that's because that was announced way after this game started development.
Alright. Well, we're going to go on to our next piece of news. Counter-Strike Go Griefers now face a permanent ban on their second offense, according to some website.
Yep, PC Gamer.
Yeah.
They're usually good with their PC gaming news.
I mean, it's true. The patch came out the 25th of October, which was 6 days of us talking about this. So, a few years ago, actually, an anti-griefing measure, I guess also anti-cheating measure, was implemented in the games, where you could watch players, like you spectate players, and see their what they have done. And if you see them like griefing or cheating, you can penalize them accordingly. So you could like kick them from the game or whatever, and give them like a cooldown, so where like they cannot play for like the next 30 minutes, let's say.
Yeah.
I don't know what the timer is, and I don't know how far you could go in punishing them, but now Valve has basically taken the judging system out of the players' hands. So now instead of having like after multiple offenses you keep getting cooldowns, instead after your second offense or your second and beyond, you're permanently banned from the game. That seems pretty harsh. But the community is almost ubiquitously for it. Are you for this like type of harsh punishment?
Yeah, because I mean, one, if you really want to play the game, you're gonna find a way to get back. You're gonna buy another copy. You're gonna borrow a friend's copy. You're gonna take your friend's account, whatever. So it's not like you'll never be able to play it again. Like they'll keep your personal information on a watch list and ban you forever. They're just banning the account that you got caught on. At least that's what it sounds like.
Well, and if you already have like you've been like you're on a cooldown currently when the patch came out, and your past 2 strikes, you're banned. You're not going back. There's no new system. You're just banned.
It's retroactive?
Yes. I thought it's illegal to have ex post facto laws in this country.
Yeah, this isn't a law.
Yeah, and it's a private company, so it doesn't matter. I don't know. I think this is really harsh. But I'm not used to games like being this harsh.
I'd say the retroactive thing might be a tad harsh, but I think to look into it more. I guess whatever keeps their community the way they want it.
I guess it's expected to be in a game like this where it's highly competitive, but I would not want this like in Call of Duty or Battlefield, a more casual game.
I could see that. What, are you planning on cheating, Mark?
Well, I'm talking about griefing. Cheating is a non-tolerable offense.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it all depends on how individual people feel griefing can be applied.
What does that mean? Is that like teabagging and stuff? Like unsportsmanlike conduct?
It depends.
Because when I think of like Call of Duty, when you're playing like Search and Destroy and stuff like that, it's all like half the times you're just messing around with your friends. Or teabagging bodies or something like that. I don't know what is griefing.
A griefer is a player who deliberately irritates and harasses other players using...
To bring it back to the Call of Duty thing, my friend Dante, you know him. He got the riot shield and got people trapped in corners. And like he wouldn't kill them, but he would just trap them in the corner so they couldn't move.
That could be considered griefing.
What else does that entail? Just annoying them?
Yeah, just like using the game mechanics that are already there. Usually using the game mechanics that are already there to inhibit someone from playing the game in an enjoyable setting.
Alright.
Like in Minecraft, it would be
burning down their house,
pouring lava everywhere, stuff like that.
Oh, good grief.
Ha ha, I hate you.
Well, Sonic Utopia is a new open world fan-made game. It is a fan-made 3D open world game, which is really confusing to me. Have you seen this trailer?
Not the trailer.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really show much. But it left me with more questions than answers, I say that much. Anyway, the game is truly open world in that you can go in any direction you want. And you have, like, your abilities are of classic Sonic, so no boost or homing attack. All the player does in the trailer is destroy badniks and collect rings, but does not show how to actually beat the level, which I found very odd. The creator said about the trailer, Sonic Utopia is an experiment that not only tries to expand the Sonic gameplay in an intuitive way in 3D, but also aims to capture the best of Sonic style and tie it together in a cohesive experience. Nearly everything in this demo, from art to sound to the gameplay engine, was made from scratch. I created all the models, animation, and most of the textures and sound, as well as the music.
And it's not done yet, so I mean, it could.
Yeah. But
Things will become clearer.
I mean, I get that. I just don't. It seems pretty ambitious from what I've seen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, any fan-made game is some level of ambitious.
Yeah. I just don't know what to expect. I don't know. It looked weird because it didn't have any objective from what I've seen. Like he just ran around in the world.
Yeah, they didn't explain that well at all.
And when they say open world, I think of two things I hate in Sonic, especially 3D Sonic games, are hub worlds and the Knuckles missions where you have to go find Chaos Emeralds in the dirt, which were really dumb and annoying. The hub worlds are useless. It's a game about being fast, and you're just walking around in the hub world, which I'm guessing obviously this guy's gonna do a good job. I'm just curious. I have my eyes on it.
Yeah.
So this is not more about giving information. It's like putting it out there for me, and hopefully putting it out there for anyone that's listening.
I mean, if this is more like a Mario 64 type of thing, where there's a central hub, but the missions are all like easy to get to after completing certain things.
Oh, that'd be cool.
If it's more like that instead of like just dropping you in like a Skyrim type situation, and then just letting you do whatever.
Yeah, open world means a lot. Means like the definition of has changed a lot in the last 20 years.
It can be applied to a lot of.
Well, I mean, so I guess we expect more of Super Mario 64. I didn't think about that idea. I just didn't know what to expect. But and basically any questions I wrote down, like what the objective of the game is, I don't know. But I guess we basically going over that. And I mean, in the end, it's just a demo, just to show off like assets and stuff and gameplay, but not necessarily the structure. So I guess it could change between now and whenever it comes out. So you want to go? What do you want to go over next? You've been playing the Skyrim, the new Skyrim remaster.
Yeah,
right?
for a little bit.
Tell us about that.
So I've never been one, like I didn't download any graphics mods or anything when I had the original Skyrim. Graphics haven't ever been at like the top of my wish list for a game, but this kind of, I wouldn't say it changed it, but it did kind of shake up my preferences.
Oh, you're enlightened now. You've seen the light. You're a true PC master race person.
Yeah, a little. I mean, I haven't gotten too deep into it, but the animations still look mostly the same to me. It's just the brightness of the world and graphical fidelity that's changed.
So you said you didn't put any graphical mods on the original game, right?
Correct.
So I wonder if you did put all the different graphic mods, how different would it be from this version from the last? Like,
are you saying if you put the graphics mods, like the highest graphic mods on the old one,
yeah,
how would it compare to this? I'm
curious.
I don't know.
I should mention it, because I played on Xbox, so I don't really think in terms of mods.
Yeah. I don't know how it would compare. It probably wouldn't be the hugest difference to most people, but then again, the people at Bethesda have a lot more to work with because they're doing it like with their own assets.
I don't know, man. These hackers, these modders, pretty good.
Yeah, modders do a lot, but they don't have like necessarily the time and the money to completely rebuild the game from scratch.
Well, do you think it was worth it for you to buy the game again?
I didn't buy it.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So would you buy the game again, though? I'm guessing not, right?
No.
There's nothing new with the game. It's just upgrade. Yeah. Like, are the textures even? Like, are there new textures, or just...
I am still not entirely sure. I haven't looked too deep into it.
So I guess that clearly answers my question. It doesn't really matter if you're barely noticing it. Alright, so I don't know how this is going to sound in post, how clean this transition is going to be. Kind of had a dog interruption, but can you explain? Well, in our little short break there, they had some information that you want to share about Skyrim.
Okay, so the new Skyrim Legendary Edition, or Special Edition, it has plants, mushrooms, stones, and trees are more frequent, more liberally dotted around the landscape, to quote Eurogamer. There's a new depth of field focus, or new depth of field effect. So like the backgrounds will fall in and out of focus depending on.
Take my money now.
Yeah. So it's all
Yeah, that's about it.
pretty much. Yeah, I mean.
I thought there'd be more than that. But anyway, let's move on to the free games that you're getting this month. If you're an Xbox Live Gold member, wasting that money every month. If you're a PlayStation Plus member, you're wasting that money every month. So the free games you get on Xbox One this month is Super Dungeon Bros. It's a downloadable all month. Murder Soul Suspect, November 16th to December 15th. Alright. I don't know anything about these games. If you know.
I think Murdered Soul Suspect is it's a detective game where you're the detective, but you die right at the beginning of the game, and so you're playing as his soul, and you have to like possess people to solve the crime.
I thought it would be a visual novel. I'm disappointed. Xbox 360 game, you get the Secret of Monkey Island Special Edition from November 1st to the 15th, and the game that I never played but I really want to. Far Cry Blood Dragon, November 16th to the 30th. Keep your eyes out for that if you never played that. I watched some videos of it, and it looks fantastic. I'll probably get a seizure though. Anyways, how do you feel about that?
It's cool. I mean, if you're already paying for it, some of those games might be nice, but it's not something I would go out of my way to get.
Yeah, you can say that for every month for the rest of the time about games that go there in PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
Because they're never gonna give you a $60 game. Like I remember the first month I ever had this, they gave me Fable 3, and that really set the tone. It really set the tone. I'll say that much. For PlayStation Plus user on PS4, you get Everybody's Gone to Rapture. That sounds fun.
That's a pretty fun game from what I've heard and seen.
The Deadly Tower of Monsters on PS4. Dirt 3, I want this game for PS3. Costume Quest 2, PS3. What is Costume Quest?
Not sure.
Hopefully I get to dress up anime women. Letter Quest Remastered for the PS Vita and cross-buy with PS4, so I'm guessing you can play them on both. If for some reason you bought both. Pumped BMX Plus, a game I want to buy, is cross-buy on PS4, PS3, and the PS Vita. So there you go. There's games that most people won't care about, but I like racing games. So that's that. There's free games. If you're broke like me, you play that and waste your time on that. So we're gonna move on to another piece of news. Twitch Prime members get a free Watch Dogs 2 DLC plus 2 free games on November 16th. So I didn't know that this was a thing until I saw this news article. So apparently, I mean, you remember like how long ago Amazon bought Twitch. So I guess it'd only be natural for them to have some type of partnership together. So they implemented a thing for $10 a month. Twitch users get discounts on games via Amazon. You get 2-day shipping on everything, and free monthly games, and in-game items / DLC. Plus, you get a free subscription to whatever Twitch streamer that you would like. There's a big bang for your buck if you're into that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So I guess this time they're giving out free Watch Dogs 2 DLC. But I'm not really particularly excited for the DLC, but I have a question of how you feel about this system. I never really thought about this. Like, is this like, how do you feel about Twitch and like you buy games as you're watching them? Like, how do you feel like as a marketing strategy? I think that's pretty smart.
Yeah, that has its place. Like if I'm seeing someone streaming a game, like I'm watching Twitch at my friend's house, and then I'm like, oh cool, that game looks cool, I'll look into it more, but I don't know the name of it. Then like having this already connected, I could just be like, hey, there's that thing I watched, I'm gonna buy it now, instead of trying to keep it in mind when I go home.
Do you watch Twitch?
No.
Is it? Well, I'm guessing there's probably like a buy now button, like right next to the games.
Probably.
Well, I don't know. I found that interesting for some reason. But that seemed like a really good deal. Like, if you're into that, you could look at what all the DLC contains. You also get other stuff as well. With like your 2 free games. I don't know if you get to choose them or not. I don't know how much that's worth. Am I getting 2 like full price games?
Probably not. No.
Probably not. Anyways, on to update news. G.T.O Online got another update. So now it's like Halloween theme. You could dress your guys up and all types of stuff. Now you got new modes as well. I'll read it right here. Angels versus Devils, Lost versus Damned Adversary mode. You get double GTA cash and RP for people that are playing Lost in the Damned DLC through November 7th. Get a new vehicle and 2 new horror themed T-shirts, special Halloween themed playlists with double GTA cash and RP again. And you return from the previous Halloween DLC, I guess. It's different masks and stuff and horns available for a short period of time. I don't really care about any of this, but I'm really happy to see that they're still supporting this game. But it makes me ask, when are we gonna get like the story DLC? If there is, I've been getting a bunch of heist, which is cool, but I'm not really big into multiplayer online. What about that single player DLC? Where's my Ballad of Gay Tony 2?
I don't know. I mean, they're making money off of online, so
yeah. So
I don't see why they wouldn't keep doing that.
Well, that's that. You have anything else to say about the Grand Theft Auto?
No, I never really.
You ever played it?
Yeah, once when a friend brought his Xbox over. I got arrested almost immediately, and he lost all his gear. So I felt kind of bad.
Well, speaking of games or game modes that you probably barely played, Arkham Origins multiplayer or online in general is shutting down this December 14th. On December 4th. Who cares? You didn't play this anyway.
I mean, yeah, I played for a little bit when the game first came out, and hearing about it again, I kind of like, I could go play that again, but it's not something I've played.
Super laggy though.
I never had many problems. I mean, finding a match was a problem, but not something that turned me off.
I never played Batman multiplayer, and just saying that out loud does not sound fun.
Well, so the way it works is you have three thugs, Batman, and like Joker, Bane, whoever the villain. Or wait, no, you have Batman, Robin, and then 3 gang members, and they can turn into whichever supervillain their gang is representing. Either Joker or Bane, the only 2 choices.
Alright. Did you have fun playing that multiplayer, actually?
Yeah, I mean, it was fun for the most part.
Alright,
I was kind of hoping it would be like local multiplayer, where you'd have like you and a friend could be playing as Batman and Robin, and then you'd be going through like the detective mode, or the Predator challenges, Brawl challenges, the story mode, possibly. But we didn't get that.
Well, Titanfall 2, no season pass. You wrote this on here, and I just do not care about Titanfall 2. It's supposed to be the Call of Duty killer, Sam. The Call of Duty killer.
This might be.
It's just not. Alright.
Probably.
It's not. They had their chance, and they blew it. But obviously you have thoughts on this, don't you? I do definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad they're not forcing a season pass on people.
Where are we now? We're happy that it doesn't have a season pass. Like, think about like 5 years ago when they actually started to have season pass. It's like, what is this?
Yeah.
And now we're happy not to have one.
Well, I'm glad some big game development companies are getting the message that it's just not a road you want to start down on.
Well, I think the best way of going about it is being like, have it as a not discreet, but like out of the way as possible, as optional as possible. I don't know. When you have a season pass here, it seems like it's a whole other game I have to buy to have the full game.
Yeah.
But if you make you probably make more money if you have like a bunch of $5 DLCs over just having one big $60, $70, or $80 one. And I mean, that's basically the mobile marketplace as we know it.
Yeah, but no, I mean now like this isn't even just an optional thing. It's all of it will be free no matter what.
Wait, it's all free?
It's all maps and modes will be free in the game's multiplayer.
I guess they desperate. That sounds desperate to me. They don't sound happy. They sound desperate. Like they don't sound like they're doing this for the good of the gamers. It says we need money, so free DLC.
No, it could just be they're trying to win back what good faith they lost with the poor poor release of the first one.
And then they're gonna make Titanfall 3, and that's gonna be the COD killer.
No.
Alright. So I found interesting on this docket you made. Out of all the Pokemon news in like the past 6 months, you put Pokemon Sun and Moon, Red and Blue, and you put a picture of them. So what do you think is so interesting about these two characters in this game?
I don't know. I just thought it was interesting that they were bringing back the two from our childhood, despite the game's mechanics being geared toward not.
One, don't assume I had a childhood going.
Okay, I meant from people's childhood.
Well, I mean, Red and Blue was they were in like Black and White too. So I mean, it's not
I
the
didn't know that.
All right. I mean, I know, but I mean, I don't know. What I mean, I do think it's interesting because this could lead to us. Could we go back to Kanto?
Hopefully.
I mean,
what I just meant is like, from what I've seen of the game's mechanics and from what I've read, this is not built for old Pokemon players. Like it's supposed to be much more accessible, geared towards a newer generation of Pokemon.
How
fans.
so?
It tells you like the type advantage moves, what moves your Pokemon has that would have a type advantage
In
the
the
first time
battle?
you use them in battle.
Ugh.
So it's not something you have to think about. Not that it was ever really.
I hope that's an option. Like I could turn it off.
No, I don't know. Maybe.
I really just want them to bring back Pokemon Black and White 2. Like it had the easy mode, the hard mode, and the normal mode. Could we just bring that back? Because if they're worried so much about like kids having a problem with the game, you know, give them the easy mode and give normal mode for like the people that like this is their second or third game playing, and you give them hard mode for people like me that have been playing since the beginning and like can beat this game with one Pokemon now. When I was playing hard mode on Black 2, it really busted my balls, so to speak. Is that something that people say?
Yeah.
All right. Even the normal mode in that game was pretty hard towards the end. But anyway, I just like to see that back. I haven't been keeping up too much with the Pokemon Sun and Moon news because apparently there was a big leak when the demo came out. So I don't know too much about the potential. I could know about the game. So maybe we could go to another region, but I don't know. I don't want to touch that because I'm going to buy the game on release. Cross my fingers. I don't want to keep that stuff under wraps. So if I sound ignorant, it's because I'm willfully trying to keep myself ignorant about this game so I could be excited the first time I see all this stuff. But I don't know. The only thing I'm disappointed about, like, there's a little bit of negativity I feel around this game release, is that people are kind of hesitant and scared, I guess, because most people really didn't like Oris, even though I really loved it. So hopefully they make the right decisions in terms of the UI and the story. And they seem like they're trying to fix that, but I don't want to get too in detail. Maybe you don't want to have this discussion right now. But I think potentially we could be going in the wrong direction as a Pokemon fan, ever so slightly. But I'm still excited though, because even if on like the worst case scenario, this is still going to be a great game in my eyes. I'm looking forward to it. Anyways, I think we're done with all the news, so let's get to this question. I should have made this the first thing because I forgot. I got too wrapped up in my food analogy. But do we want to say this guy's name?
Okay, so there's a YouTuber, Tyler Oakley. He's a pretty big.
No, I'm talking about the fan question.
Oh, fan question.
Should we say his name?
I don't care. An old friend of ours, or acquaintance.
Shout out to Alex. He sent us a question. Would you rather save Harambe and not have anyone acknowledge his existence, or kill him and let him be a god? No powers or what?
Basically, for the first part, would you rather live in the time before he died, where nobody really knew or cared about him, or live now, where he's a meme? He's the meme lord.
Yes. And he puts no powers, just worship like one, a god. Then omnipotent and all-powerful.
So for the first part, would you kill him or let him live?
Well, I would let him live. I mean, for one, on a face value, kill an animal or let it live? Well, I'll let it live.
No, I mean in the same scenario.
I mean, yeah, like in any scenario, I would let him live. Because if you look at like any like a way besides the child should never been in there. The parents were stupid, and I mean you shouldn't kill a gorilla. I don't know. You just shouldn't kill it. I mean, and if like that, I think that baby's death, this might be totally horrible. That baby death would not be in vain because he would save us from so many bad Harambe jokes. The years and years of memes to come about this dumb gorilla. So many dumb football mascots I see on Instagram these days. Like it's just terrible. This is why I hate memes. This is why I hate most of the internet. This is why I hate Tumblr and it's like everything else. This is why I hate most people.
See, that's exactly why I would kill Harambe. It's not that I enjoy the memes per se, but I like seeing people that do enjoy the memes and people that hate them. I like seeing those two groups clash, even though I don't care at all. It's just fun to watch people get worked up over absolutely nothing on both sides of the fence.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not vocal about it. Like, I'm not going back making anti-Harambe people memes. But I'm just like, whenever I see people make Harambe jokes, I'm like, I whispered like to myself, man, that was really funny. And then maybe one or two people around me will hear that, and they might laugh. But I don't know. I mean, I don't really go too far the dark reaches of the internet. So I try to keep away of it like as much as I can. Memes in general, but it still permeates in my life. It's annoying.
And now for the second part, would you want him to be... Would you let him live or kill him and have him become an all-powerful god gorilla?
Oh, wait, if I kill him, he becomes a god?
Basically, yeah.
Well, I thought that just ties into the first part, is that we worship... Like, if people who will love Harambe...
No, there were basically two questions. The first was, would you kill him and just have him be a meme, or would you let him live? And the second one was, would you let him live or kill him and let him become the most powerful being alive?
I will let him live.
He's dead.
Let him live. Let him live.
I'd kill him.
The same reason. Why?
I'd still kill him. Because hold on, let me find...
You gotta worship another fake god, Sam?
No, because I'd love to live in like a Planet of the Apes type of situation, where you have an all-powerful ape leading ape kind. And then, if you were confused about religion, or you didn't know, you'd have a definitive answer. Because you would see Harambe in front of you, a thing that you could physically...
I feel that you're spurring on
change the world.
Well, thank you, Mr. Alex, for the question. And you're open for another question. Everyone's open for a question. We'll read them on the podcast. We'll do it first next time. I gotta remind myself we're gonna do that first. The questions come first. So anyway, we're gonna move on right along to the Tyler Oakley Twitter rant. You can read all that good stuff.
Okay.
Jeez.
So, a couple days ago, 5 days ago, Tyler went on this Twitter thing about saying saying an entire race of people is not your type isn't just a preference. It's just racism. Not here to argue, just informing. Maybe instead of replying to this to justify your racism, look inward as to why you choose to write off millions of people based on race. I can't help who I'm attracted to, his straw man says. Let's dissect why. Society makes beauty standards / favors whiteness. Your preference is prejudice. He goes on to say, to those saying my argument implies gay people are sexist, sexual orientation isn't a choice, writing off an entire race is.
So, wait, but being like gay and having like a racial preference for one is similar because you can't choose what you like. If he wants to say that our what we like is based on the media like conditioning us in a certain way, I mean, you could say that. I guess that's a valid conclusion, but that's not my choice. But me having like, if I like, and I feel like most of the time we don't favor white people. We actually favor the opposite. We favor more quote unquote exotic things. But I'm not going to speak for anyone else. I'm going to speak for myself. So, as me growing up as a black man, but mostly I went to a black school with some Vietnamese people. What I find attractive these days is what I didn't grow up with, which would be the skinny white woman. They're a very rare thing. It's like seeing a deer in the middle of the city. No objectification, no hashtag no objectification, hashtag feminism, all that good stuff. But I mean, that's personally what I like. Like out of 9 out of 10 women that I would say I like, they're like all white. I mean, it's not. I don't hate black people just because I like white girls. I mean, I like white girls too. Just like when I think of my ideal, anyway, when I think about like the girls that I really do like realistically, it's those women, and it's not like a pre-planned thing. It's not like I'm going for these people. Like that's just what I like. But it's just like being gay though. Like you didn't choose to like men or like the same sex or whatever. It's kind of these things you're born with. It's not racist because, and this is another thing people have a problem with. They don't know the definition of racism. People think racism is anything like thing based on race, but it's not. It's anything a malicious generalization about a race. That's what it really is. And I don't think you having a preference is something malicious for one, and you're not really. I guess it is a generalization to some extent, but I don't think it's malicious, which is the bigger part of racism. And that's how I feel about it. Well,
yeah, I mean, it's one thing to say, I have yet to find a person of insert ethnicity or race here that I'm attracted to, and it's a slightly different thing to say, I don't like people of this race, like at all yet. Or not yet, just at all. Again, it's like, it's not racism, it's just like preference. It's not something that you're not maliciously saying, well, I would never date a whatever because it's just not my type. I'm not attracted to that.
Some people do say that I'll never date a black guy, but like I've heard that before. But you got to take this on a case by case basis.
Yeah.
Like this is one of the things that you have nothing to go off besides only your experiences. So maybe he has experience. Like he talked to people that said, "I'll never date like this, and this." Rather, in our cases, we met people who said, "I like this stuff." Like we have the other view. We prefer these things instead of where he might have experienced like people just ban these things that they don't like. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard people say I wouldn't date a West Indian person, which for me, I'm like, okay, that's your choice. It's a little weird, and I personally wouldn't swear off anything. I wouldn't make it so definitive. But again, it's your choice. It's not like, or it's your choice / how your brain is wired.
Well, if I could ask you, what do you prefer?
I have yet to find a specific ethnicity or race that I'm not attracted to somebody from that group, you know?
But does one ever come out to you as more attractive than the other? Like, is that something that you think of? Because that's not something that I think of.
Not really, no.
It's almost as if he's making the straw man.
Yeah, probably.
Well, do you know what spurred this?
No idea.
You follow him on Twitter? Like, why you...
No, a lot of other people had covered it, so.
You have any other feelings on this?
I'm just tired of everyone saying everything is racist.
Yeah, everyone's a social justice warrior, or on the other side, you're just a bigot, racist person. There's no in between anymore, which I find annoying. You see that with everything now. Everything's polarized. It's a very uncomfortable world to live in. There's no in between, for the most part. Anyway, you want to go into our Godfather discussion?
Yeah.
All right. Do you feel like reading the summary of this movie, or do we have to pass that, or we're just gonna assume people watched it, or
we'll take a pass on it.
Take a pass on the summary. All right.
It'll come up in our review for the most part.
So hashtag spoiler alert. You could just turn it off right now.
Yeah. Spoiler alert for a 44-year-old movie.
Yeah. So well, you start off with your feelings. How do you feel about this movie overall?
It was a really just tough one to swallow. There was so much going on, and I had so little time to digest it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was entertaining for the most part. I got invested in most of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Al Pacino and Marlon Brando are standouts. But everyone else has said that. So
I didn't even know who Al Pacino. Like I heard the name before, but I didn't know he was Al Pacino. Like this is the guy that everyone likes. I mean, I guess he's a good actor because he made me feel an emotion about his character Michael. I thought he kind of was like towards you can see like his character change. I really can't describe how I feel about it. It's something about him that I don't like. It could be the part that he went to Sicily after he killed those two people, and he like basically got another wife. Explain what like correct me if I'm wrong, but he basically got another wife, right?
yeah, yeah.
And then he went back to America and tried to go back with his old wife girlfriend thing, and then tried to make the life work. It was just a very I didn't like him at all in the his character. I guess he was a good actor, but yep, go on.
Mm-hmm.
Go on. You had.
Well, I was about to say he's not really. I don't know. He doesn't seem like the kind of character you're supposed to like in the same way that you like Superman, or you like Spider-Man, or whatever.
Yeah, he's not the cool bad guy. He's just the bad guy.
Yeah, I mean, he is the 11th most iconic villain in film history, according to the American Film Institute. So,
is that based on this movie or on the whole trilogy?
I'm guessing the whole trilogy, but mostly this and 2.
But well, I'm gonna get into mine. But before I do though, it's 3 hours long. Well, 2 hours and 58 minutes to be exact. But has a 9.2 on IMDb and has 100% rating on Metacritic. If that means anything to you. So it's universally loved, pretty much one of the greatest movies of all times. You know, saying like looking at a list of like the top 25 movies of all time, it's kind of like looking at the top 50 greatest players of all time in basketball. Like this is all truly subjective in my eyes, and I think movies even more so because there's not like stats to back it up. I guess you could look at box office, but no, that doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah, even then you'd have to adjust for inflation and all that.
Yeah, and no one's gonna say Transformers is up there in like the top 50 of all time, even though that does like a bunch of money. But anyway, let's get to how I feel. I think it was okay. It was definitely great for the time, still great now, but I didn't love it. I can see why the critics see it as pretty much the perfect movie, but conversely, I can't point out any big flaws. I didn't like how it was 3 hours, but I can acknowledge that the way we watch media today and the way we watch media in the 70s are completely different. So like you can like going to a movie back then, I guess was more a special event less than it is now, because now you really expect things to be on demand on TV. Like there's more emphasis on TV shows, and some people even say we're in like the golden era of TV. Like everything is just so easy to watch, and you can either binge watch like a couple like 45 minutes to an hour shows on like and still have it make sense. Like I could watch just 45 minutes and just be quick and done with it and get that story out of it. Rather with this, if you try to watching in 45-minute chunks, it's not the optimal experience, and it's very hard to sit down in a very fast-moving world, in a very busy life that I live, a 3-hour movie and not feel bad, or just not get distracted in general. But I'm not gonna hold it against it, even though subconsciously I still am. But I think overall, we expect shorter, faster paced things, and this movie had a lot of character development, which is a good thing. Apparently, this is adapted off of a book, which you could really tell. Like this is a really good adaptation off the book, because this is how the characters developed and how closely detailed. It wasn't like most movie book adaptations where they probably like shed a lot of character development. But I mean, I didn't read the book obviously. I didn't know it was a book before this. But what else did I feel about? But if I feel like to make it more current, if we cut this movie up into 3-hour-long episodes or 4 45-minute episodes, I think it would be like a really good TV series, right?
Yeah, it could be an entertaining miniseries.
Right.
You'd have to be cut really well though.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't get like as much acclaim though, because it's like I don't know.
I mean, if you look at how Netflix does their Marvel shows, 13-hour, like 55 minutes to an hour long episodes. but they're all meant to be basically one movie cut up into 8 to 13 parts.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you were to do it as well as they've done it, if you were to cut up The Godfather the way they have, that could work. But it's not something that you just go around like stopping at whatever point you got tired and hoping to pick it back up again.
But I don't want to harp on a length too much, but I enjoyed the story and the relationships. I like the tension. The scene where Mike was in the restaurant about like planning on killing those two guys, and we had the gun from the bathroom. I'm like, he's gonna mess this up some type of way. He's gonna die. And like I was really, not to say I was on the edge of my seat. I was on the sofa, but I was intense. I felt like, oh my god, something's about to happen here. I was really invested in that moment, and it paid off. He shot both the guys in the head, which was a fun murder scene. And I enjoyed all the murder scenes. It reminds me of a game. It reminds me of Grand Theft Auto, 'cause like you kill the people in creative ways. So like towards the end, they were killing off. Oh, I forgot what they were, but he got one guy like trapped in one of those rotating doors, like at a hotel.
Yeah.
Like he trapped him in the doors and then shot him in the face. I like that. He shot one of the guys that was getting a back massage through his eyeglass. And also this movie is not gory. Like their heads don't explode and stuff. It's very like subdued. The deaths are, and like even though, well, I guess a couple of them were a little overkill, the way Sonny dies, but for the most part, it's not like super ultra violent, which I appreciate. It's more of an artistic film, not like a gore flick.
It's not a Tarantino movie.
It's not a Tarantino movie, or like an action film for that matter.
Yeah.
But when Sonny did die, I'm like, oh my god. I was really invested in that character because he just seemed cool, and when he died, I felt kind of sad. They're just lighting him up. They were lighting him up with those that Thompson or whatever. But man, when I see all those people just pull up at the toll station, I'm like, oh man, this can't end like this. It's only the first movie. Hopefully, I don't know. Do you know that not Grand Theft Auto 2, Godfather 2 and 3, are they prequels? Any one of them prequels?
I think 2 is like part prequel.
So they're like flashbacks.
Yeah.
Alright. Were there subtitles in your version when I read in Italy?
Yeah, I mean they were optional.
Alright, I didn't have that option.
Oh, when they were in Italy? No. Yeah, I think they were mandatory.
They're mandatory.
From what I remember.
Okay, mine didn't have that. So I didn't know what was going on. Like I got the basic gist that he wanted to marry that woman, and then the woman exploded. But I don't know why the woman got killed in the car.
I can't remember.
So that was confusing. That was about like 45 minutes of story that got wasted on me. So I didn't get that. Oh, one thing that I noticed is that they smoke a lot and drink a lot. Like at every point, it's like, hey, you want a drink? You want just a shot of hard liquor or whatever? Like, there's no way these guys could be healthy. That bothered me. But themes that I saw, family. Family is not just your biological ties. It's the collection of people that you truly trust. It's like a lot of people that, what's that guy named? Don Corleone. It wasn't all his family. It was people that he trusts, like that Tom guy. It wasn't really his biological family or whatever. Which, I mean, you can see that in real life. Loyalty was another big theme. I think that's pretty self-explanatory if you see the movie.
Yeah, and the family part too.
Masculinity / responsibility. The men are told to be tough and extremely careful. A quote that I took note of was when Don Corleone said, "Women and children can afford to be careless, but men cannot." But so modern people today would see that quote and be like, "Man, that's super sexist." But I don't think that's the point. He's not saying women and children are inherently like less mentally, but he's not saying women are inherently less than men. He's saying people with responsibility, with the ultimate responsibility of protecting their family, they can't afford to be careless because that means you're dead or or you're gonna be in a really bad position. So like you could relate this to a single mother. It's not just like a man in a household in a nuclear family. It's just like or it doesn't have to be family in general. Like if you're the responsible one in any relationship or anything, if you mess up, you probably couldn't afford to, because I mean, when you're taking care of other people, there's a very thin margin in what you can and cannot do.
Yeah. And a lot of that line also kind of stems from the honorability of women and children being like off limits in Italian like mafia warfare.
Most people today wouldn't take it that way.
No, I'm just saying like it was pretty much true that a lot of honorable, at least in cinema, honorable characters kept the women and children off the board. If you killed innocent bystanders or women and children, you would get punished for, I'm trying to think of the word, just for being dishonorable. If you have a problem with somebody, you take it out on that somebody, directly on them. You don't take their family into it. You don't bring their kids. If it's them and their gang, you take out them and their gang, but not them and their family. Family's off limits.
Another theme that I saw, the last important one I think, was power. I think the reason Michael is drawn into the business is because he admires the loyalty and respect that Don gets from everyone. Like as you get from being the head of the business, I guess.
Yeah, from being the Godfather.
Yeah. Which, man, I'm really curious to see where it goes in the second one. But I'm guessing the second one is like at least 2 hours and 30 minutes long, right? There's no...
Yeah.
Like,
just about.
That's annoying. I just can't sit through these 2 hour plus movies.
We don't have to...
I mean, we're not gonna do it. We gotta... Don't worry. I got options. What do you think about the power theme in this? Like, how do you see that? Not only in the last couple scenes, but throughout the movie. Power. How do you see that? Like us. How am I trying to say this? Like, how do you see the theme like pop up now and again?
Was it this one with the dead horse? It was the dead horse head. Yeah, I was trying to make sure that wasn't in the second one. But the whole point of like the mafia having a single godfather is not consolidating. Consolidating power to one person and having that be the driving force behind getting more power. And it's all about expanding your control to have power over more things for your security, your family security, wealth, like financial security. A lot of the biggest scenes are displays of power. You've got the killing scenes, people exerting power over others' lives. The horsehead scene was Don exerting power over a rival crime family.
The first meeting that we see with the drugs being implemented into organized crime, and that's pretty much the driving force of the movie. Things that get things really going. And also the meeting when Don explains to the other 5 families why you can't put drugs in, even though they pretty much go about it anyway. Which is another part of being honorable. He didn't want to put drugs in because that's going to harm the kids on the street. That's going to harm the families. Like, alcohol and gambling is not really as bad as vices in his eyes as drugs. I guess he's really referencing cocaine, right? Yeah, so I would agree with him on that one. Another thing that I noticed. How do you feel about him dying after playing with his grandkid, I believe it is?
Yeah, I think grandkid or like niece or something.
Yeah, I think that's Michael's kid.
Yeah.
Or Michael's wife's kid.
Or nibbling.
Yeah, whatever. How do you feel about that? Does that have a deeper meaning? You went to Ben Franklin. You know about close reading.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that scene too much. Or not too deeply in that way. Do you think there's any?
No, I mean, it could be like the death of an old regime and the beginning of a new one. I don't know. Because I don't think they did that on accident. I don't think anything they did in this movie was on accident. Like, I don't think it's a coincidence that he died as he was playing with like this baby, and Michael, like right after he talked to Michael, like the quote that I got that from was from the previous scene where he was basically telling him what to do, and basically has his full trust in him. So I guess that's what it was. So that's pretty much what I thought about the movie. All in all, it was a fine movie. I just wish it was shorter. If they broke this series up in a mini series or whatever, I thought it would make a lot more money. So like not like making like a TV series, but like 1, 2, and 3 would be like split into 5 movies instead of 3. But I guess they wanted that ending to be right at the end of the first movie. So
Yeah.
Anyways, I took the actors, the all stars, I would say. Al Pacino, which was Michael. Marlon Brando, which was Don Corleone. James Caan, which was Sonny. Robert Duvall, which was Tom. And Diane Keaton, which was Kay. Kay was Michael's wife.
Yep.
Al Pacino, the most notable movie I saw him in was Heat. Marlon Brando, Apocalypse Now. James Caan was in Thief. Robert Duvall was also in Apocalypse Now. And Diane Keaton was in Something's Gotta Give. So one of these movies are not like the other, you can obviously see. But if it was up to me, I feel like the way I see things going, if we pick something like Apocalypse Now or Thief, we need a bunch of older actors, and we'll be watching a lot of older movies down the line potentially.
Yeah.
But if you pick Something's Gotta Give, I think the other actor in that movie was it Jack Nicholson? I forget which one is
Jack
the
Nicholson.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson is a
And
golf
Keanu
player.
Reeves.
Oh, Keanu. Oh,
And Jon Favreau. And
watch The Matrix. But it's a tough one. I always wanted to watch Apocalypse Now because I'm always interested in it. But I think it's. Well, which one do you rather out of these 5?
I'd prefer Apocalypse Now because I don't want to have to sit through Something's Gotta Give. But I prefer the options that Something's Gotta Give gives us. So I don't know.
Man. So can you look at Apocalypse Now and see who else is in that movie?
Yep.
Make an informed decision. We're not just going to vote on the straight ticket ballot. We're going to make an informed decision. What do you see?
Martin Sheen's a big star.
Who's Martin Sheen?
Martin Sheen is
Charlie Sheen's dad?
Yeah, Charlie Sheen's dad. He was in The West Wing, which was a TV show. But he was great in that. Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh, alright, we're doing Apocalypse Now.
Yeah,
there you
bring
go.
us to The Matrix, and then we can go back.
Great.
Harrison Ford as well.
Oh, we do Indiana Jones potentially.
Yeah.
Alright, now we're spoiling it for next week. Okay, we're doing Apocalypse Now.
Yep.
Alright, so I think that's enough with The Godfather. We're almost done. But you wrote down that Uwe Boll retired from the movie making business.
Yep.
So I didn't know who he was, but apparently he was in a lot of video game movies.
Yeah, he made a lot of video game movies.
So can you speak about him? Like, what do you feel?
I'm happy. Well, I'm happy and I'm sad. I'm glad he's not ruining video game movies anymore. But I'm a little sad because he made some pretty terrible stuff that was fun to tear apart.
Why would they? So everyone say he made like the worst movies, not even video game movies, just the worst movies ever.
I wouldn't say that, but
but he kept he doesn't have like just 2 or 3 movies. He has like 15 movies that he made. So why they kept giving him like contracts?
He was producer on like 53 movies.
Oh, so he's making these movies. So he just has money to do this. Is that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, because at least for the video game movies, he started a production company specifically to get the licensing for a lot of these movies. At first, at least. That's the story. Like he made House of the Dead, which was not a good movie.
What was that?
Sega
game? That Sega game on Dreamcast?
Alleged. I mean, in name.
Okay.
In name only.
So do you have anything else to say about him? We just miss him because he's going to make terrible movies?
I mean, I'm glad he's not I'm glad he's gone. So there's a better chance of a good video game movie actually being made. But I'll miss having new stuff to make fun of.
Well, put a nail in the coffin for that guy. I thought it was actually good. I never watched any of his movies, but I thought it was a guy worth talking about, but I guess he isn't. Oh, I think our last thing that we should talk about is the NBA season. So,
want to save that for when Dantes is here, or is he?
I mean, we could talk about it a little bit. So, how have you been watching the NBA games this season?
I've caught a couple on cable. I've streamed highlights and stuff
Legally,
like from NBA.com for some of the games that I missed.
So did you watch the Pelicans game where he got 50, 15?
First game was 50 points.
Yeah.
Second was 45. No,
Yeah.
I didn't watch the whole thing.
It makes you think, like, living in New Orleans, like, we have to go here. We have to go to the Smoothie King Center and see him live because he's really like a transcendent talent, and like he's surrounded by complete garbage. It reminds me of like mid 2000s LeBron, except there's like the West is not open like it was. It wasn't like the East in like the mid 2000s where he can actually like bring him to the playoffs at least. Not even like don't even speak of the finals. Like this guy can't even bring us to the playoffs because they're so good. Like the rest of the teams are so good. It's just sad to see. And he probably, unless he leaves the Pelicans like in 3 or 4 years, he's probably the Pelicans probably not gonna be able to surround a decent team around him.
I don't know. As soon as they stop trading away first round draft picks, they might have a chance. And I mean, it's only been 2 games this season, so there's always a chance.
Well, I mean, I think we know, like if you named all the teams that, like, most of the teams at, like, the top half of teams that didn't make the playoffs, so, like, 9 through, like, 12, have we gotten better than Utah? Have we gotten better than the Kings? We got better than the Nuggets?
Again, it's too early for me to say, but right now I'd say no.
Have we got better than Timberwolves? Like, you could say definitively the Timberwolves are better than the Pelicans, right?
Yeah, at the moment. At a moment, they're at least slightly better.
And the Utah Jazz are better than the Pelicans. I can say that definitively because they were better last year.
Yeah, on paper. So barring an injury or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a lot more likely one of our guys get injured than one of theirs.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, they're still doing good, right? And even though Gordon Hayward is injured, what are like notable things that you've been gleaning from the NBA season thus far, this past week or so?
The Warriors signing of Kevin Durant.
You just find that one out?
No.
You just turn the TV in August, they're like, whoa. I mean, in October, it's like, whoa, we got Kevin Durant.
The first game, some people were like, oh, well, Russell Westbrook is laughing now. It's like they just lost 1 game. Sure, it was their home opener and their season opener, but this 1 game is probably not going to define their season.
Yeah, I don't know. The problem with this team is obviously not the 4 guys. It's like their bench. I don't see this team. Man, they can't really afford to have any margin of error, and that's really silly to say when they have Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Kevin Durant on the same team. But I don't feel like they have any margin for error if they're going against the Cavs especially, or like even like who would they see, like the Clippers. I feel like the Clippers are like a better cohesive team than the Warriors right now. But I mean, we all assume that they're gonna get things together by the playoffs, which I guess is a safe assumption. But I just don't see them being as dominant as we thought they were initially. Because if you, like everyone said, like this is one of the greatest teams ever assembled. Yeah, they're like the best 4 players ever assembled on the same team. Like if you like average like their ranking, like they probably have the highest ranking between like the top 4 players, but their bench are not like it's not like comparable to like the other super teams throughout the years. Like they're not as good as like Miami's or like the Celtics of the 2008 or like the 80s or like the Lakers bench. I don't know. And I think that's gonna really bite them when it comes to the finals.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm overreacting the other way. It's like people were overreacting the positive way. I don't know. The other notable thing is that Damian Lillard is a beast.
Yep.
Russell Westbrook is a monster.
Yeah.
And this NBA season overall is pretty great. Like, there's no boring team besides probably the Suns. What?
Oh, I was gonna point out that like a lot of changes were made this offseason to a lot of teams that people thought were gonna immediately make them better. Like the Timberwolves hired Tom Thibodeau. People are like, oh, they're gonna be a good defensive team. They're gonna hustle. They're gonna start winning more games. It didn't happen the first 2 games. They fell apart in the fourth quarter.
Vince Carter really locked up Andrew Wiggins. What's up with that?
Who knows? Kevin Durant's signing didn't immediately make the Warriors. They're not going 82-0.
I don't know, man. I think they could still do it.
Sure. The only immediate change I saw was the Sixers not getting blown out by the Warriors, which I thought was
the Sixers didn't blow up the Warriors last year, and they had nobody on that team. Like, it took like a Harrison Barnes like corner 3 in like the last 30 seconds for them to win.
Oh, sorry, not the Warriors, the Thunder. My bad.
Yeah, that was what. I mean, if you think about it, like those teams are not too different.
No.
Because I mean, Russell Westbrook. There's no like comparison to them, but they have like a bunch of just okay players at this point. Like, I'm really proud to see how far we have gone with the 76ers. Because I think Joel Embiid, I just love him. I love him.
Yeah, he's playing out of his mind.
I just want them to make the right decision and trade Jahlil Okafor. Because I just don't feel like he has. I feel like he's gonna be Al Jefferson. Like, he's gonna like not be that good defensively. I don't know. I don't like bad defensive players, like bad defensive big men, because you always have to defend, but you don't always have to have the ball. That's the way I think about it. I don't know. Besides that, though, well, do you think the 76ers are gonna make the playoffs?
Not this
right?
year. No.
Yeah. Besides that, I don't think anything else was of notice. Well, I want to ask you this question before we stop talking. Who's your early MVP pick?
Anthony Davis.
All right, you don't have to. Is that supposed to be a joke?
I kind of say no. He's my scoring title winner. Early MVP, I'd have to go with LeBron.
Not your scoring title guy is not Russell.
No. Did Russell put up 90 points, 90 plus points in the first 2 games?
He put 100 points up between the first 3 games.
First 3 games.
All right, but they were also like triple doubles. Well, all right, that doesn't matter in this.
No, I mean he might be MVP. I don't know. It all depends.
I'm not saying scoring title. I'm not saying he's MVP. LeBron has a better chance of being MVP. I say.
Maybe.
I think this is his last chance to do it.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So I think that's about it, right? So we got a Twitter, we got an Instagram, we got a Patreon, we got all that good stuff on the YouTube channel. If you like this video, you should share it with your friends. If you didn't like this video, you should share it with your friends. And leave a comment. We love your questions. We love feedback. And we'll see you later.